2. Well, hello, first podcast down, and I'm here with my great friend Romy, who I've known for many years. Romy and I worked together actually for 10 years somewhere else, but she's a great person to have on, first off, because she's actually known about the business and the products for a long time. She's been utilizing the products for 31 years. And I thought I'd bring her on because I'd like to ask her a few questions about the products and a little bit about the business, because she's got an insight into that. Now, whilst she's not building the business herself now, she's still using the products. So I'm going to start off with a really easy question for you. What's your favorite product and why? And has that product pick changed over the years?
Thanks, Jane. Well, all the products are brilliant. They do exactly what's said on the tin. But initially, when I first got in, the LOC was my go-to product. I mean, the fact it was concentrated, the fact it was multi-purpose, and was the first biodegradable cleaning product ever. So I used it for cleaning paintbrushes. I used it for removing stains from my daughter's dress. One time I just threw it into a basin and pumped away with the LOC, and abracadabra, the next morning the dress was fixed. And the fact it was gentle.
Yeah.
Other products that I really, give a shout out about is all the laundry products, because I was told initially that if you use these products, they're very good at preventing limescale. Now, as I have a recycled washing machine that's now 20 years old, so that must be true. But the product my favorite, or that I would hate to be without, and it's not a very glamorous one, but it's very fundamental to my life, it's Zoom the degreaser. I was thinking the other day, I have a plastic dish, washing up bowl that's in the sink, and sometimes underneath it gets greasy. I just flip it over, squirt Zoom on it, it runs off the hob, etc. But also, because so many of the products are multi-purpose, one day when some wine was spilled, I used it to remove the stain of the wine, and it worked. And I was so impressed that I actually sent a photograph to my daughter who had spilt the wine saying, look, it's vanished. So a multi-purpose product like that has been with me ever since I came in business.
I mean, that's the fascination about all these products. They are environmental, they are concentrated, so you're actually getting a great you're getting your money's worth, shall we say. LOC I love. It's product number 0001. It was actually called Frisk in the beginning. I'm thankful they changed the name, and they used to mix it in a bath. That's where it all started, is mixing LOC, or Frisk as it was known, in a bath back in the day. But yeah, I agree with you. LOC and Zoom are great products, as are all the other home care products, and they're not sexy as we call them, but we all need them on a daily basis, and we all want to have something that actually does what it says in the tin, as you say, and also something that's cost effective. And we now want to add in the environmental aspect to it as well, and we've got that, and we've had that. Well, the company's been going since 1959, so yeah, we've got that. So yeah, great start, great product. So I'm going to move on a little bit to when your time in the business, because I never got to experience your time in the business because our paths didn't cross, because just after I had joined, you had actually gone off to do some other things that were a priority in your life. But I know you carried on using the products. I know you've been asked to speak on stage before about products, but I'd specifically like to get to know a little bit about the product days that you used to have with your upline, as we call them, in your upline's kitchen, I think. So could you tell me a little bit more about the days that you had doing that, what you brought to show, or did other people bring things to show, what demos were done, and ultimately what you believe business owners and customers got out of them? That would be really helpful.
Well, it was my upline that created the idea of having product days. She would invite her customers, her downline, and anybody that's new to the business could come too, and we'd all bring the products. We'd lay them very artistically around her kitchen, on the worktops, on the kitchen table, And then she would ask each one of us to speak in depth about our experience with the product, experience rather than just reading the label. And there's so many, the products are so multi-purpose. We learned all sorts of different things about the products. But also, I think the biggest result was that all our ordering went up. Our uplines orders, customers, newcomers, everybody else, their orderings increased because they had new knowledge about products they haven't ordered. So it was also social. It was really nice to feel we're all in the business.
Absolutely.
And, I just think
that community spirit really around something that you're all doing. I agree totally. I think giving confidence to new people in those kind of areas is a perfect way to do it. And they can come along and chat to other people and see what they, maybe haven't tried before, because sometimes it is a leap of faith to change a product, to go from what you're using just now to something else that you really don't know much about. And especially in this day and age when we're all living in a cost of living crisis, we want to know that we're going to be buying a product that we're going to be able to use, not just sort of try it out and think, oh, well, I don't like that, and put it back on the shelf. We want to know, and these product days, I think, what you used to do is absolutely great, and I certainly would are going to be doing more of those going forward. So changing from products to business, people understand that Amway is a manufacturer. They make the products. That's what they do. They're very good at all the brands that we do. And on the other side, we have teams of people, various different teams throughout the world, but we all follow a sort of what's called the system, which is a little bit, it's a sort of word for people reading books, listening to some audios, and associating and coming to meetings, etc. It's voluntary, it's not compulsory, but the benefits from it, I believe, are really far-reaching, can help in every corner of somebody's life. You've said this to me before in the past, that you got a lot from it. Can you explain a little bit about what you did get from it and where it has helped in other aspects of your life?
Well, I mean, to start an Amway business and then be told that I would have a mentor free, this mentor was there, is going to help me, and she could only be successful if she made me successful. I mean, that's an eye-opening concept. That
it's not normal.
No. And as you say, I was encouraged to listen to tapes and books and go to, larger meetings. And the books to me were confidence-building books. The first one I read was How to Win Friends and Influence People, which had a multitude of sort of hints about living life as well. I mean, it was a brilliant book. And after that, I loved reading the books. I read many. And gradually, as my confidence grew, and also I had the confidence in the products by that time, then I was invited to speak on large stages about the benefits, and absolutely loved it. And I just remember one time in Leamington Spa, of all places, talking about the products and asking for a member of the audience to count when I mentioned products, and she's sitting in the front row busy counting, and all I was doing was counting the number of products I had on my head, and it was something like 19 products on my head. And it was just fascinating to be able to do that, because later on, when my life changed, that confidence in public speaking was so useful, and I'm so grateful.
And I know you've gone on to do spectacular things with your life afterwards, and really helping other people as well. And I think that's the thing about the system, is that sometimes we rail against it because we're not used to it in corporate life. It's just a great system. That's all I'll say. It's just a great system, and it's really helpful to build this business, but also in other parts of your life. So lastly, I know that you're a regular taker of Nutrilite vitamins. What's been the benefit for you and why? And from your perspective, why have you chosen to continue taking them?
Well, right at the beginning, when I was learning about them, I was shown a video about the farming methods and how there was sustainable farming. There was also using natural products, etc. And all I remember was they talked about importing Egyptian worms, which I couldn't remember why, but I think it was something to do with aerating the soil.
It is. That's exactly it. Yeah, they mixed Egyptian earthworms, which go further down into the soil, with an American earthworm, which is quite fat. So therefore, sorry, Americans, but it meant that the combination of the worms, that they would go deeper and they'd aerate the soil better. So yes, you're absolutely right. And they have 4 farms. We own 4 farms of our own: Brazil, Mexico, and 2 in Washington State. About 6,000 acres of organic farmland, sustainably farmed, but also empowering the workers out there as well. So there's a huge corporate social responsibility from the company as well. And we have partner farms that grow things for us that perhaps we can't grow in certain topographies, and they have to go through a NutriCert program as well. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just the whole aspect of Nutrilite is vast, but it's also hugely I don't like the word phenomenal. I've used the word phenomenal before, but there's nothing else to say about it but phenomenal for what they do and what they produce.
And they were doing it long before anyone else.
Oh yeah, I mean, Nutrilite's been going since 1934. Brought out the very first multivitamin and XX in 1934. Still going today. You know, just slightly tweaked the formula. You know,
the results of 31 years of taking these vitamins and minerals, I think, have helped my fitness levels. Definitely recently, I noticed that I had comments from doctors saying my recovery time from a broken ankle, and I recently had 2 cataracts, was very fast. I really believe that helped the recovery time. Also, at age 76, I have no long-term health issues. Yes. And I'm sure that's because I've kept going with all these wonderful vitamins.
And you don't look your age, Romy. You don't act it, and you don't look it. So, you know, I think
don't, as you say, I mean, I don't take all of them all the time. I always take a daily, but a lot of the other ones are for my age, appropriate for my age. So I take them, I increase them sometimes, decrease them. Vitamin D, you pointed out one day recently that, you know, to remember that if my vitamin D is okay, then I need vitamin C in sunshine, because
that's right. And I go on about you know,
just keep on learning about them. Really,
you might be getting your sunshine from the vitamin D, but to remember to up your vitamin C going on holiday, because actually sunbathing depletes vitamin C. And usually when we go on holiday, we don't eat the best diets because we're on holiday. You know, we want to have the little treats. So that's why people come home with colds. It's not just the air conditioning on the plane, it's because they've depleted their vitamin C. So I always say to people, up your vitamin C in the summertime as well, because especially if you're out sunbathing, because it does deplete it. So well remembered. So yeah, I mean, that's great. That's really all I wanted to ask you. And I wanted to make this a sort of quick and technically sort of, I hope, fun podcast. And I'm so thankful for you to doing it. I know it's not your kind of thing that you're used to doing, but I think for somebody who's utilized products for 31 years is a great testament and a real help for other people to have confidence in just trying them and getting on with it, and starting with trying the products and then seeing where everything else goes for you with that. And hopefully mainly Romy has given somebody a confidence to do that. So I'd like to say thank you very much, Romy. And I will catch up with everybody on another time, and we'll see what next podcast comes up. So thanks, Romy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.